Schools are turning your children into sycophantic left-wing psychopaths. Hey, it's your buddy Moo Juice Magic here. This is something I've been saying for a long time. The university system is basically, it's not for education, it's for re-education. It is being used by leftist ideologists to corrupt your children, to get them involved in extreme left-wing propaganda, to get them involved in things that were never true, to believe lies, and to hate your freedom and your right to be an American. And we have an unfortunate precedent here where we have this the assassin of Charlie Kirk, this Tyler Robinson. It looks like maybe his dad had called it in and said, "Hey, you need to turn yourself in." His roommate shared some Discord messages where he very clearly was Charlie Kirk's killer. People talked about the strange way he walked, and I said, well, it's pretty obvious you would walk that way if you were hiding a fucking hunting rifle in your pant leg. But there we go. Now, I will say this, I was wrong. This was not a 40-plus-year-old middle-aged balding liberal who was fat. This is a skinny loser 22-year-old liberal who had been sadly corrupted by most likely the education system and those around him. Kids, 22 is still a kid. They will go through a lot to try to fit in with the crowd. That's why you see so many kids transgendering at one time. You'll see it happen in droves, like groups of them do it. It's because it's a social, what they think is a social norm. It's what's going to get them to feel affected, or like that they're accepted, not affected, but to feel accepted. And they're being affected by those around them, whether it be the media, their educators, things like that. You have to really instill upon your kids a sense of who they are as an individual at a very early age for them to be able to go through this education system and come out semi-normal anymore. Don't allow them to have TikTok. Don't allow them to have Facebook. Don't allow them to have Instagram. Don't allow them to do any of that shit. Monitor who they hang out with. Their friends can hang out at your place, but not vice versa unless their parents are normal. In this case, Tyler's parents were totally normal. He was raised in what sounds like a good Christian law enforcement, conservative Republican household, taught to shoot from a young age, much like myself, things like that. So what changed? Well, what changed in this guy that, what flipped that switch for him to become such a sycophantic weirdo and a murderer? Well, my guess is the education system. He starts going to university in the last couple of years, and during that time, he becomes more and more politically motivated to the opposite end of how he was raised. When you are surrounding yourself by pawn scum, you're going to get dirty. It's just a fact. You need to have a break from that from time to time. You need to be able to move on and be who you are going into it. You have to be a very sturdy resolve to get through that kind of rigmarole and come out normal, come out like a regular individual, like an intelligent person. Because I hate to break this to you, having a piece of paper that says, doctor or bachelor's or master's, any of that, that doesn't make you intelligent at all. That just means that you answered the questions they wanted answered. That's literally all that means. It's like taking an online personality test. You just hang up whatever it is they said because you got the questions the way they wanted it. And that's a reality. Educated people aren't exactly the most intelligent people. I've seen this time and time again. It's insane. It's good to be educated. Don't misunderstand. But educating yourself is very important, and not allowing people to tell you how you need to think is a very important part of being able to think critically. When I first started going to church when I was 18, I didn't just trust what the preacher was saying. I wasn't going to do that. What I did instead was I sat and I read my Bible. And then when I realized that the Bible was written in a different language, and I'm like, okay, it was written in multiple different languages, I'm not going to get a total understanding of this book unless I find a way to translate what these words actually meant, because you do lose things in translation. And I knew that because I spoke a few languages when I was younger. Not very well, but I was a bit of a polyglot. So I sat down and I started skimming through it and reading and getting through. I got what's called a concordance of the Bible so I could break it down and read it. And I read it front to back probably 6 or 7 times to formulate my understanding of what it actually said, what it meant, and then to apply that to myself. That's before I started really becoming a preacher, before really getting super involved in the Bible college thing. I had a lot of spare time when I was 18. So I sat and I did that over and over and over until I felt like I had a menial understanding. And only then would I put myself out there to be surrounded by these folks in this church that I was going to and listen to what they had to say. And oftentimes I wouldn't agree with what was being said, but if it wasn't something that was going to be detrimental, there was no point in me being upset about it. The problem is with school, you're not allowed to do that. You have to give them the answers that they want to pass. I've seen some of my kids' homework even, and I just tell my kids, look, this is bullshit. Just answer it the way they want it answered so you can get out of this stupid class and move on with your day. School should be about academics. It should be about math in the younger grades, math, English, writing, that kind of stuff, basic science. That's the kind of shit they should be teaching, not anything political at all. You have no place, if you're teaching outside of college, talking about politics or your political ideologies in any way, shape, or form. And if you're doing that, you should be fired and probably prosecuted. And that's for both the left and the right. It should be up to the household, the parents, and that kid themselves to decide how they believe and what they believe. Problem is, now we have multiple generations of parents and families who have gone through this education system and believe the same fucking bullshit every generation. This wasn't the case here with Tyler, this killer, Tyler Robinson. And I hate saying his name so many times. Why aren't we using this fucker's middle name? That's what we do for assassins, right? We use their middle names. 9 times out of 10, it's how it's always been. Now, I got to see the police report on this. Steven Crowder shared it, and the donut operator shared it. That's how I saw it. And I was reading it, and it's pretty cut and dry. They have evidence. He seems like he's confessed to doing it. He's told people he did it. And here we are, wearing the same shoes, having the same kind of outfit. Now, listen, guys, the same shoes is kind of a weak argument. They're Chuck T's. Converse shoes are everywhere, bro. But Tyler Robinson he speaks at an event some time ago in Salt Lake City for the Democrat Socialists of America. He's up there talking about it. I'm not going to play that video for you guys. I don't want to give this guy any more. The only stage this guy needs is one that drops out from under him while a rope is tied around his neck after he's found guilty. And we need to air that on national television. This needs to be exposed in a way where we all had to sit through watching Charlie die. We all need to sit through watching Tyler die. And his friends and the people that agree with him and believe in what he thinks need to watch this too. They need to see his feet hanging back and forth over that big empty space with that short rope hooked to his neck. And that's just a reality. That has to be seen. Right now, like I said yesterday, there's a lot going on. You guys, we're not done yet with you guys that spread this freaking evil rhetoric. The amount of shit that, say, Stephen King is getting today for doing a fake apology when he found out he could just get sued for everything he's worth is pathetic. It's disgusting. The guy has spewed this vitriolic rhetoric for years, and we're done with it. We're just done with it. We have no more patience or tolerance. The time for apologies is over. We're not going to accept them anymore. We will accept your doing intelligent things, and that's about it. You want to come out and change your life and actually mean it and show us something, we might work with you. Beyond that, it's a wrap for you if you've been spewing this kind of thing. This isn't a thing like I'm saying that all leftists. No, because like I said, I have some liberal friends that are better than that, and they know better than that. They wouldn't do that. At the same time, I have a lot that would. After this last couple of days, I got a lot of leftist friends that won't talk to me anymore. And I frankly don't give a shit because I was their friend this much already invested to it. And the reason being is because I know they throw you under the bus the first chance they get if they don't agree with you. I've seen it over and over and over. I live in California. It's a common trend with leftists to just throw you under the bus happily. Now, I say the schools. And you know what? I'm just going to let Tyler, before he became radicalized as a leftist, I'm going to let him, in his own words, you can see what he was like before he started going to a university.
Okay. Congratulations. You have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from Utah State University. The value of this scholarship is approximately $32,000. This scholarship is available for 4 years or 8 semesters.